my family, a lot of them, they worked 25 years, 30 years, and then they became an expert, became a consultant, or they went out and volunteered in the community. And when I was growing up, I realized that, do I have to wait 25 years? Do I have to work a job for 30 years, and then I can do something I really want to do? I said, well, I just want to skip that part. So I just started going out there and doing things and trying to figure out what an expert looks like without working somewhere 25 years. And so what happened was I just started speaking at different events. And I was speaking at an event kind of like this, and I did a good job. I was kind of funny. And at the end, these two old guys, they come up to me and say, you're really funny. And we're old, and we've been around a long time, and you're really funny, and you should be a stand-up comic. I go, what are you talking about? Well, you should combine business and comedy together and be a stand-up comic around that. I go, I don't know. We're old. We know. We've been around. We've seen a lot of people like you. And, okay. So I went home, and I researched stand-up comic. And when I did, the definition tells you that someone that interacts with the audience, they're dynamic, they're fun, they kind of make things up off the fly, and I do that. And when I'm speaking to different business owners, I just kind of say what I think and inspires people to take action. It also inspires communities to take action. And so I said, all right, fine. So I guess what I'll do is just put it on LinkedIn because that's what people do. People that are food, people that write reviews on Yelp, they say they're a food critic, they put it on there. People that eat ice cream and post on Instagram say they're a food blogger. So these two old guys said I could be a stand-up comic, so put it on there. So I put it on LinkedIn, and of course what happens is the next day, one of my friends calls me and says, you're not that funny. And I go, what are you talking about? He said, I saw that on LinkedIn you put that you're a stand-up comic, and you're not. I said, well, these two old guys, they seem to know a lot, and they said I am, and then I went to Google and I researched stand-up comic, and I kind of do a lot of that stuff. And he goes, no, you're not funny, and you're not a comic, and you can't do that. So I started doubting myself and having head trash, and what I call head trash, and just going, well, can I say that? Can I not say that? What do I do? And so I was thinking about this, and I just left it on LinkedIn. But so over the course of a week or so, about a week later, the same city I just spoke at, where the two old guys were, they called me up and said, you're really great. You really inspired and motivated the audience of business owners to take action. So we want you to come back. Can you come back in about 45 days? We'll bring in a whole bunch more people. And this time we'll pay you. We'll put a poster, put everything together. I said, all right, okay. So they put together everything, and they sent it to me. And it was like the size of a lottery ticket. It was kind of embarrassing. A big picture. And I didn't do anything other than on LinkedIn put stand-up comic. But on this flyer, it said business consultant, marketing expert, stand-up comic. And I was like, uh-oh. And then they started putting together tweets and email newsletters, and they said stand-up comic. I was like, okay, well. So I told one of my employees, she said, well, just go for it. I said, all right, fine. So about 45 days later, I show up, and they introduced me. They introduced me today, real nice. But at the end, they said, and he's a stand-up comic. And they handed me the microphone. I was like, oh, boy. So I better be extra funny. So I really try hard to be extra funny. So at the end, this girl comes up, and she says, David, you're really funny. I said, oh, thanks. And she said, how long have you been a stand-up comic? And I was like, 45 days. Then I called my friend, and I said, you'll never guess what happened. They put it on a poster. They put it in an email. They put it on Twitter. This girl came up and said that I was one, and they paid me. So I guess I'm a stand-up comic now. And he goes, no. I go, what do you mean, no? He says, well, did you get trained in that? So, well, you know what? In undergraduate, I went to San Francisco State University, and I took art of comedy, and I got an A in that class. I completely forgot I took that class. But now that you remind me, I guess I did get trained. He's like, no. But you haven't been on improv or something, or on some stage. It's like, wow. I said, okay, you know what? Here, do me a favor. Go to Google. And Google Pleasant Hill stand-up comic. If you go, that's the city I was in. Pleasant Hill stand-up comic, I was number 1 through 10. Okay? And if you do image search, Pleasant Hill stand-up comic, it was all me. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, because they promoted it so much, and there's not that many people in that city, I was it. I'm number 1 through 10. So Google says I am. He's like, no. So what happens is, when are you an expert, right? Is it when others say you are? Is it when two old guys say you are? Or when your friend says you're not? You know, your friend. Is it when you say you are? Is it when I say I am? Is it when you're paid to do it? Is it when you're trained to do it? So when are you an expert? Do you have to wait 25 years to take action? It's not just about being an expert, but it's about mentoring, volunteering, taking action in the community. When do you have permission to do that? Do you have to wait? Can you volunteer to be a firefighter right now? Or no, you have to wait 10 years, and then you can do it. So that's the kind of question that I want to look at. So I looked at the definition of an expert. It's a person who has a comprehensive knowledge of something, right? I don't really have a comprehensive knowledge of stand-up comedy, but it's like, well, but these people kept saying, and I kept starting to research more and more and more, realized, okay, I can do this. So I kept doing more and more of it. But then there's this imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome is the idea that you doubt yourself a lot, and the idea is as you start learning something more and more, you realize you know less and less and less. And you got to learn more and more skills about it. And we get this, like when you get a new job or you get a promotion, it's supposed to be exciting. You got a new job, you got a promotion. But no, most of us go, uh-oh, they're going to find out I don't know anything. And how long is it going to take for them to realize I don't know what I'm doing? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? So it's the same thing with volunteering in your community. When you volunteer, you don't know how to do it. You're just doing it. And someone might find out you don't know what you're doing. You're not helpful. So you have to get out there and just do it. That's the thing. So what happens is, after all this research and a lot of time and pain, I realized that I believe it takes 3 years to become an expert. Now, does that mean that you just wait 3 years to go, okay, well, okay, I'm an expert now? No, you actually have to do stuff. So I'm going to cover the 3 main things that you want to do to become an industry expert. Number 1, knowledge. Experts, the research shows that experts actually continue to learn and educate themselves over and over and over and over, more and more and more. They get really into it, and they educate themselves nonstop, and they surround themselves with other people to become even more of an expert. You don't just become an expert and stop learning. So you don't just volunteer and then not continue to learn how to be a better volunteer, a better mentor. Number 1. Number 2, you have to have belief. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your product. You have to believe in your service. You have to believe in the community. You have to believe in what you're doing. So here, you want to believe in your community and take action. That's the last one. Take action. If you don't leave your house, nothing happens, right? And that's why I say every day, like when it comes to networking events, do I really want to go? I don't know. And then just get up, go out. That's what ends up happening. When you meet people, things happen. So you got to take action and continue to take action. Don't stop. So what happened was, last night when I was standing here, I took a picture of this right here, this red carpet, and I realized that how I got here is related to this red carpet. And how I got here and why I'm here is related to that. So number 1, about several years ago, I was watching the Golden Globes Awards. And you watch, the Academy Awards, Golden Globes, all these awards. You realize that not many people win. There's a lot of nominees. So like Leonardo DiCaprio here, he's been nominated well over 200 times. He's only won about 40, 45 times. So, but then I realized is the nominees get just as much attention, in fact, even more attention than the winners. Because when they show all those shows leading up to it, they talk about the nominees all the time. They show all the awards, the movies they're in, and then they bring them up on stage or over here and they show them. And then the winner gets to come up and say, cry for a minute. And that's it. But the nominees get just as much attention. And then the Golden Globes is my favorite because after the Golden Globes, every single poster says Golden Globe nominee, Golden Globe nominee. Every single movie you see, in the intro, it says Golden Globe nominee. It doesn't say winner. So I realized, wait a second, there's lots of awards. I could start nominating people for awards. And why not? It doesn't matter. They might accidentally win sometimes, but if they don't accidentally win, it doesn't matter because I nominated them. So I started going out there and just nominating people for awards. Why not? And guess what? It was good for me and good for them. And I didn't just nominate people for things that didn't make sense. I nominated them for things that made sense for them. Just like on LinkedIn, I wouldn't say I'm a dentist or a lawyer or a doctor. I would say, stand-up comic. There's no certification for that. So that's the idea. So I started nominating them for things. And lo and behold, people started nominating me for things. Okay, so I got nominated for the Oakland Indie Awards, Social Changemaker. Now, in the city of Oakland, I've spoken at Oakland City Hall over 60 times, where people for free can come and learn about how to start a business or how to come up with new ideas, how to do marketing. And I enjoy doing it very much, giving back to the community and speaking and motivating people to take action. And so someone nominated me, might have been myself, I can't remember, and for this award. And so I went there, and people are like, great job, congratulations. We're so happy, good, we appreciate the work you do here in Oakland. I've been there 15 years, I love Oakland. So I was born in San Francisco, but I love Oakland. So what happened was they take me around, and they keep saying, oh, great job, great job. I didn't win, I was just nominated. But it served the whole same purpose, right? So how did I end up here? Well, lots of different things, and I teach at UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley. I'm a Google mentor. I have a PhD in clinical psychology. I have all these different things and all kinds of, but the number one thing they highlighted here, she even said it when she introduced me, was that they put on Facebook when they announced me, is that I was nominated as a change maker for the city of Oakland. So that nominee led me to be here, and I didn't even win. So my whole point is that you have to go out there and do something, right? You don't just become an expert, you have to do something. So in conclusion, you just have to start. Just go out there and do something in your community. It doesn't matter what it is. Nominate people for things. Volunteer for things. Just go out there and do things. And then you'll just, all of a sudden, you're standing here, and apparently you're an expert. So you have to manifest your destiny and just make it happen. Thank you so much.